Breaking news, CM Punk is a massive arsehole. A shock to nobody. Phil Brooks got sacked after his brawling All In with Jack Perry. The decision was announced by AEW via Twitter. I'm sure you've all read it, but you can pause here if you want to read the full statement. Tony Khan then reiterated the statement on Collision, and now we're at the pay-per-view. If you want my personal opinion, I think if you're starting fights with Jack Perry, Kenny Omega, The Young Bucks, Hangman Page, Ryan Nemeth, William Regal, Colt Cabana, Jon Moxley, Miro, although that one may have been a joke, then the chances are that you're the problem. Let's not waste any more time in our AEW reviews on that asshat. It's All Out 2023, let's get into it. Main card opener is the Dark Order challenging Better Than You Baby for the ROH Tag Team titles. Alex Reynolds hits MJF's injured neck with a chair on the outside, which forces him to be taken away by doctors, but he does come back to nail a kangaroo kick and the double clothesline as Adam Cole gets the pin for the win. Clearly, MJF is hurt though. As the ROH Tag Champs leave, Samoa Joe bumps shoulders with MJF as he enters for his Ring of Honor TV title match with Shane Taylor. MJF jumps him in the ring for the bump and the two are separated by security and referees. Shane Taylor comes out and Joe dispatches of him fairly easily with the coquina clutch to retain the title. Darby Allin challenges Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, for the TNT Championship. Darby does a sick dive to the outside onto Luchasaurus, who was sat in a chair, no safe bumps for Darbs. Darby hits a code red off the top rope for just a 2 count. Luchasaurus tombstones Darby into oblivion to win and retain the title. After the match, Christian goes to Concerto Darby, but is stopped by Shawn Spears and the rest of the locker room. The heels walk away victorious, but discontent that they couldn't finish Darby off, and not in a weird way. Powerhouse Hobbs vs Miro is next, and this is just big meaty men slapping meat. Hobbs is able to get out of the game over, but later submits to the same move. The two actually shake hands after their 5-star banger. No, genuinely, I loved this match. But Hobbs attacks Miro as he goes to leave. Who saves Miro but his hot, flexible wife? His words, not mine. CJ Perry makes her AEW debut. She distracts Hobbs as Miro clatters him in the face with a chair, but when she and Miro go face to face, he walks away, claiming she's not real. It was genuinely like the two never knew each other. What a bizarre end to an absolute stunner of a match. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is here at ringside for the strap match. It's Ricky Starks versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Danielson enters to the final countdown, and I'll never get tired of hearing that entrance. Starks attacks Danielson before the bell and bloodies him to get us going. This one is brutal. Starks stamps Danielson's head into the steps and proceeds to hang Danielson. Who does Ricky think he is? Hangman Page. Starks then also gets bloodied, which isn't helped by both men slapping each other in the face with the strap in a hard to watch moment. Big Bill interferes and grabs Danielson, but Steamboat stops him with some hot strikes. Danielson dives into Ricky and Big Bill off the top. Ricky turns it round and hits a spear for a near fall. Danielson then counters the Rochambeau and hits a bicycle knee for a near fall of his own. Bryan does his customary kicking the effing head in spot before getting the label lock on. Instead of using an S-grip, he uses the strap to choke out Starks and win the brutal contest. The Dragons celebrate and leave together. What a match, and it's so good to have Bryan back. In my short time making videos, Bryan has been injured, so I've not got to talk about him much, and really, I think he's the greatest of all time from a purely in-ring perspective. He's so talented, and I adore that man. Katsuyori Shibata teams up with Eddie Kingston to face Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli of the BCC in a tag match. Shout out to Eddie for the Terry Funk tribute, his shirt of course saying Claudio sucks eggs. Finish of the match comes when Eddie hurricanes Wheeler into a sleeper by Shibata, but gets caught by an uppercut as Claudio pins Eddie Kingston. Konosuke Takeshita takes on the cleaner, Kenny Omega next. Kenny gets dumped on his head with a reckless back suplex. Kenny hits the "you can't escape" out on the floor, using the barricade to moonsault onto Takeshita. Takeshita hits a senton from the ring to the floor, and a cool spot executed perfectly by Konosuke. In the end, after a hard-fought match, Takeshita hits a knee with his knee pad down and pins Kenny Omega clean, in a big shock, to me at least. This was a star-making performance from Takeshita. Take a bow, son. Bullet Club Gold take on the always popular in Chicago Young Bucks and the shooters themselves, FTR. Stereo sharpshooters from the faces. Who knew just teaming with FTR would teach the Bucks actual wrestling moves instead of just relying on super kicks and backflips? Bucks and FTR combine. First it's Matt and Dax nailing a spike pile driver, then Dax superplexes Gun 1, who gets splashed by the other 3 members of the face team. Dax and Nick then combine for the Shatter Machine and then a BTE trigger. Just in case anyone was unsure, FTR certainly know where the trigger is. In the end though, Jay White hits the Blade Runner as the heel team steal the win. In the space of 8 days, Bullet Club Gold have beat Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Hangman Page, the Young Bucks and FTR. What a few weeks for the lads, long may their push continue. Main event time as Jon Moxley challenges Orange Cassidy for the AEW International Championship. It's a big fight feel from the introductions and the atmosphere in the arena. Orange gets busted open early, shocker as Moxley isn't the first to bleed in a match he's in. Mox tortures Cassidy all over the gaff as blood continues to pour out of Cassidy's head. Cassidy is able to pull out an orange punch though for a 2 count. Cassidy even drops Mox on concrete with the beach break, making such a painful thud. I wouldn't be taking that bump. Cassidy then kicks Moxley's head into the steps. Cassidy continues to rally as he gets 2 orange punches, but as he goes for the third he gets caught with a Mox cutter. Cassidy then hits an orange punch followed by a spear, a sequence reminiscent of Moxley's friend, the Tribal Chief, and an interesting nod. Cassidy puts his hands in his pockets and does his soft, condescending kicks, but with every kick he hits Mox harder and harder, but Mox comes back with some hard lariats to get back in control. Moxley hits the paradigm shift but only gets a 2 count. He then picks Cassidy up and drills him with a higher angle Death Rider as Mox beats Cassidy to become the new international champion. The rest of the BCC come out to celebrate with Mox and carry him to the back. The BCC is complete again with Danielson back in the fold, and they've got AEW Gold in their clutches once again. As for Orange Cassidy, he wakes up in a blood pool surrounded by 10,000 people chanting his name and showing their appreciation for him. He may have lost the match, but Orange Cassidy's story in AEW is far from over. I truly think this is just the beginning for a guy who was once comedy relief but has proven this last year he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Thank you so much for watching my AEW All Out 2023 review. Please like, subscribe and leave your comments. Let me know what you loved about the show, what you didn't like about the show and what you think that I can do better. Hopefully you'll stick around and I'll see you all next time.